Okay, so I'm kind of working on something. I changed this particular project from the Learn OpenGL. So I took out the model calculation and I replaced the draw arrays with GL draw arrays instanced, and I did another modification, which is kind of a jaw dropper, but pay attention here, and it's kind of interesting. So the vertices array, which used to have the position of the vertex and then the texture coordinate of the vertex, I commented out all the texture coordinates. So, and I changed the VAO to where, so there's no longer this texture coordinate attribute, so it's just the position, and they are tightly packed. So the stride is 3 and the offset is 0. So it basically just reads that whole chunk, vertex after vertex, throughout for the cube. And then got rid of the one or the other texture, because we're just going to use one. We're not going to use container, but we're going to try to start with that one and see what happens. So we still have the projection in view that's calculated, and then I realized when I commented out the model that I needed to take it out of the calculation here because it was 0. So projection times view times model, which was 0, times the position was always making them all 0, and they were all just one dot is all I was getting. So anyways, so we just have the position up here as the layout. The other one's gone. We're not outing a texture coordinate. We're not inning a texture coordinate. We're just outing the fragment color, which I have set to a static reddish, greenish, somewhat bluish kind of a thing. And the effect is this. Okay, so I have this, and it's orange. It's orange. And this is 10 cubes. Keep that in mind, because it's drawing 10 instances of the cube. Okay, so now what I wanted to do was do an example of GL Vertex ID, which is actually in the Vertex Shader, and we can use it to affect the position. Okay. So we're getting these positions in through each one, and we're getting a projection view, and we're setting it into the projection in view, which it probably isn't very much. So what I wanted to do was per vertex ID. Let's just go like this. For now, let's just go a position.x times GL vertex ID, and whatever vertex ID, we're going to add 0.2. So as we go through 10, we're going to add 2, and it's going to go off the screen. Okay, and then it's going to get in here and affect that calculation. We're going to see. Now let's just save that. Let's go back here. I know we don't have to do that, but let's just do it. And then, no, so it didn't do it. Did it? I don't see it. I just see the one rectangle. Okay, so I'm a little bit confused. Maybe I'm not doing this right. The position. Oh. There, you know, that might work. And we broke it. Vertex Shader failed to compile. Error outside. Assign Avis can't modify an input. Oh. Did I modify an input? Okay. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so we're not allowed to modify that. So let's go like this. Let's hold that thought. Okay, let's go new position equals a position, new position dot x plus equals GL vertex ID times 0.2. Okay, so now we don't need that because we're just going to use that, and then down here we're going to draw a new position. Okay, so save that, see what happens. And okay, we're still getting there. Vertex Shader failed to compile with the following error. Undeclared identifier new position. Oh, cannot convert from. Okay, so I didn't declare it. I'm sorry. My bad. I didn't declare it. Vector, it's going to be a vector 3, right? New position equals there. Is that all I have to do, right? We've screwed it up. Okay, so do you see what's happening? Actually, what I wanted to do is, that's the vertex ID. So that really messes with the cubes. So, okay, let me explain what happened, because I just now understood what happened. So each one of these vertices, so this vertex had the x added to it as it went from 0 to 10, actually 0 to 36 or whatever. What I want to do is change this variable to InstanceID. So now it's going to go from 1 to 10. I just mistakenly thought it was the other way around. Brain's not fully functioning here. Okay, now we have 10 cubes. And you see they run into each other because each cube is 0.5. So, or actually each cube is from negative 0.5 to 0.5. So each cube is 1. So let's go times 1.2. Spread them out. Run it again. There. Now there's a space between them. And there are 10 of them. That is so cool. Okay, so now we know how to do that. So we have the instance ID, okay, and we can give a different position to each one. What we want to do is now include the texture coordinates, but we want to instance them, because what we want is for, say, this first cube right here. Okay, this first cube, we want it to be textured with one texture. And actually, let me show you what I want to do. I want to load this texture, so let's go in and load masterpiece1.png. I know I'm getting excited here because I think this might work now. Masterpiece1.png. Okay. So we're loading the texture, and then as we're going through with the instance ID, we're going to keep the position calculation going, but we're also going to do now a texture calculation going. So we don't actually need to do anything to pass in the texture coordinates, do we? Let me think. Because if we go here and we go out texture coordinates, okay, and texture coordinate is actually right here. So we're going to need, what is it, a vector 2? Okay, equals vector 2 texture coordinate. Okay, so but what we actually are going to do is go right inside here and go GL instance ID times. Now each one of these masterpiece.png, okay, hold on, bear with me here. I've got to, oh wait, did I need to, okay. Create texture tiles, no, back up, get texture coordinates, perfect. Let's do this. I have not used this in a while, I forget how to use it, so let's actually just try the get help. Get text coordinates, get help. So, didn't I include examples? There we go, there's an example. Okay, so get text coordinates, picture X. Okay, so what is the picture X? Edit. Okay, so the X of this picture is not visible on the screen. Why can't I see the, oh, there it is, duh. Okay, okay. So it's 750 by 750. Okay, 750, pick Y, 750. Okay, sprite X. What in the world? input width and height of pic, also offset box in sprite for a particular sprite in this function output texture coordinates. So the sprite x, okay, so the beginning, like the first one, okay, is going to be, let's say, we're just going to do the first 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great, so each one, oh, that's easy, they're 0.1. Okay, I'm a dumbbell. So we're just going to go InstanceID times 0.1 for x, and y we're just going to use 0. Okay. Oh, wait a minute, that doesn't work. I'm thinking about this wrong because this is only going to change per instance. With the texture coordinates, we needed to change per vertex. Oh, shit, Sue, it's a little bit more complicated than that. So per vertex. Oh my god. So actually, let's go back here. Bear with me, this is going to take a little bit of thinking. So let's go back and include in vector2 a text coord. Okay. So we're going to go back and include the texture coordinate attribute. Okay. Okay, so the stride up here is going to be 5 now. This one's going to be the second one. Okay, great. But what we want to do, okay, so you see how we've got this here. Okay, so first of all, just look at the x. Okay, let's think about just the x. Because what I wanted to do is go, instead of going from 0 to 1, right? Because the x will go from 0 to 1, which is the entire width of the texture. So we're going to get all 10 of those. We don't want that. So what I want to do is, because I'm going to be able to throw in a multiplier with the instance ID, because the instance ID with the multiplier is going to go from 0 to 1. So it's going to go from 0.1. Okay, so hold on. So here, everywhere there's a 0, I want to put a 1, because that will start at that spot. And then everywhere there's a 1, I just want to go 1.1. Because if it's at 0, or wait a minute. Because instead of going from 0 to 1 like it's going to do, I wanted to go from 0 to 0.1 for the first one, 0.1 to 0.2 for the second one. So 0 to 0.1. And in this case, maybe I could just add. Yeah, we can just add. Okay, so we'll play around with this one, this first one. A little nervous right now, but we're just going to add. So let's go like this here. Just to see what this does. And I have no idea what it's going to do. Delete one more. Okay, perfect. That looks great. So now, continuing to hold down the Alt-Shift. So inside here, what we're going to do is replace. So find and replace, quick replace. So 0.0 F. On both sides, are we going to leave that? Yeah, so the only thing we're going to change is 1.0 F to 0.1 F, right? Let's see what that does. Okay, so it's going to use the texture coordinate, and it's no longer like, so the stride is 5, and the stride is 5 down there, and it's offset. Okay, so I think we're good there. And then in here we have that. So texture coordinate comes in and it goes out. So a text coordinate. So texture coordinate equals GL instance ID that plus, pardon me, so a text coord. So each time through the instance loop, because it's going to run 10 times, that's going to be 0. and that's going to go from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. It's not going to get to 10. But okay, and then y is going to be the same. So we're not really worried about the y coordinate, but it is going to be there. Okay, so that, and then out, and then it gets outed to here, and then we want to init sampler texture 1, and then now we want to comment that out. We want to go frag color equals texture texture 1 comma text chord. And then we load the texture and we use it and everything else because it gets sent in. I didn't even actually change that because see, set int texture 1, it activates the texture and binds it. It just, I never used it. So, okay, save, compile, run. No. Is there an error? There's an error. Vertex Shader failed to compile with the following errors. Too many arguments, constructor 1 compilation. Error 016, too many. 16, line 16. Too many arguments. Oh. Oh. What have you done? Text chord equals, oh, dot x. There you go. Okay, well we've got something. I'm not using a color, right? We're not using a color, but this is actual texture coordinates. Why is it such a, what texture coordinate is it getting there? Am I still recording? I'm embarrassed. Okay, whatever. So texture 1, texture coordinates. So what did we do? So GL instance ID. The position still works. Okay, GL instance ID times 0.1 plus a text chord x. So every time that's going to be 0 or 0.1, right? Do we need to do that for y? We need to do that for y too. That's why I'm all messed up. Because y is just 0. So let's do this for y. It's just a text chord dot y. Why didn't I do that before? I have no idea. I have no idea. Because that'll give us y. Because now y is going to go from 0 to 0.1. Oh, okay. Huh. Why didn't I think of that before? Oh, it doesn't work anyways. So what is actually going on? Is there anything being rendered besides this one color? What color is that? I have no idea. Probably the first color in the texture, like the first color in the, I don't know. So I'm not sure how to fix that or how to change it. What I was trying to do was just get the first texture, the first 10 textures, and put that on each of the instance ID times 0.1. I mean, we don't really need that, but I don't know. I'm so scared and stuff, okay? Just kidding. Just kidding. Alright, so I'm not sure why that doesn't work. I am baffled. But as soon as I turn off the recorder and start looking at stuff, I'll figure it out, I guess. That's how it always works. So I'm just going to keep recording. What time? We're up to 19 minutes. Okay. So, texture coordinate position. Okay, so text chord equals instance ID, right? Which theoretically goes from 0 to 9. So 0 plus texture coordinate x, which we know is 0 to 0.1. Is the other part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? So it's also 10, so 0.1 is the, okay. Confused. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Texture coordinate equals. So then it samples from texture 1 and it uses text coord to do it, right? Does the in have to be listed before the out? I have no idea if that's why. I have no idea. Grasping at straws here, folks. That's what we're doing. Grasping at straws. Okay, so let's change it in here to 0.2. See if that has a change on anything. And nothing. Nothing changes, folks. Isn't that exciting and fun? Isn't that exciting and fun? Well, so what if we change all these back? I have no idea why. What say you? What say me? Let's go down. Go down. Okay. So what is it? Control H. Replace. How did I remember that? I have no clue. Not a clue. So what do we want to change them to? I don't even know. 0.25. Okay. Change all. Okay. We want to go back and change the zeros to, let's just go 0.1. Let's just change them all to 0.1 because I am not sure what's happening. Because it's a plus. Oh, why is it that color? Where is that color? What is that color? Where is it getting that? I just want to know. It doesn't look like any of the colors in the corner. This corner? This corner? Where? Where's that color? I'm so confused right now. And it's the same color, so you know what? Maybe I need to just rebuild. Like it's freaking out or something and not actually doing it because I'm only changing the constant. No, okay. Darn it, I was kind of, hoping that might, I don't know, work. Okay, masterpiece1.png. It's right here. Do you want to try the other one? Try awesomeface.png and see what happens. Let's do that. Let's change that up and see what's going on. Awesome face, why not? Awesomeface.png. Okay, so it's choosing a texture, color. It's choosing a color from within the texture. See, it's one of the, okay. It's only choosing one color. So why is it doing that? Oh, is it because this one I need to change to an A? Oh my gosh, if that's it, I'm gonna freak out just a little bit. Just a little bit longer. Whoa, that really messed everything up, so it's not. That's not it. What about if I change that to masterpiece 1? Okay, it's a different color. Interesting, but that means at least it's responding to the texture coordinates that I'm putting in there. I'm confused. How do I know if it's RGBA or RGB? I should know that, but I don't. Okay, GL InstanceID. Let's go back to the point 1 that we wanted. And then this. Is that the same color? Is that a different color? I don't know. I'm so confused by all of this right now. I'm so confused by all of this right now. I don't even know. Well, this video is obviously not going to make it onto YouTube, so might as well shut it down.